The Arizona Wildcats win this game against the Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks. Final score 77, Arizona Wildcats 77 to NAU 44. I was pretty happy because the University of Arizona Wildcats were able to come up with a victory, and as far as I could see, it didn't look like any of the players were injured or got injured in the game. Any of the starting five got injured. Caleb Tarczewski, speaking of injury, this was his second game that he was out. Whenever we played Southern University, then the Southern University Jaguars last game, then he was out for that game, and then this game, the Arizona Wildcats, Caleb Tarczewski was out again against the NAU Lumberjacks. So he got quite a bit of rest, and the next game is against the University of Arizona Wildcats is against the Washington State Huskies, I think. I'm not sure. And that's going to be on the 2nd. But I was, I always think that it's really cool to keep an eye on the amount of assists. The T.J. McConnell, which is the point guard, pretty much assist man for the Arizona Wildcats, he ended up with 6 assists, but the Wildcats had a total of 16 assists. The next person that had a bunch of assists was Gabe York, and he also knocked down a couple, 2 out of 4 from three-point land. The Arizona Wildcats shot 53% from three-point land, which is pretty good. But the NAU Lumberjacks, they shot 42% from three-point land. So that's pretty good, because anything above 33% is considered good. And so the Lumberjacks were able to knock down quite a few of their three-pointers. The Lumberjacks, the NAU Lumberjacks, were able to get 6 out of 14 from three-point land. I'm going off on ESPN, the ESPN stats here. I saw some really nice assists from our. I remember seeing one really nice assist from one of the second-string players, and I think it was Mason that did that assist off to Pitts, and Pitts knocked down a three-pointer. That was his only. He was 1 for 1 from three-point land, so pretty cool. The thing about it is we didn't do as good as we could have done. The Arizona Wildcats didn't do as good as they could have done on the rebounding boards. They usually out rebound the opposing team. The Arizona Wildcats usually out rebound the opposing team quite a bit. But this game they had, they had the Arizona Wildcats had 20 defensive rebounds, and the NAU Lumberjacks had 20 defensive rebounds. The offensive rebounds, that was something that was a little bit more in the Arizona Wildcats' favor, because the Arizona Wildcats were able to get 12 offensive assists, while the NAU Lumberjacks were only able to get 9. offensive assists. But the Arizona Wildcats, another thing that I think that Sean Miller would be happy about was the amount of turnovers. The Arizona Wildcats only had 5 turnovers. I think they had 2 turnovers in the first. I think the Arizona Wildcats had 2 turnovers in the first half, and then in the second half, then they had 3 turnovers. I'm trying to see if there was anybody that. Yeah, it was Aaron Gordon that got in trouble with the turnovers. He had 3 turnovers out of the total 5. So that wasn't too great, but something that Aaron Gordon did pretty good was he made 3 out of 5 from free throw land, and he's been having a really hard time kind of knocking down those free throws, and getting comfortable at the line to shoot those free throws. So the Arizona Wildcats, I don't think I've ever seen a free throw stat from the Arizona Wildcats this good as 75% from free throw land. So that's also something that's very commendable. We had Nick Johnson knocked down 3 3-pointers. He shot 3 out of 5. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson was just doing some wonderful acrobatics. He ended up with 14. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson from the Arizona Wildcats ended up with 14 points. He wasn't the top scorer. Nick Johnson was the top scorer with 20 points, but Rondé Hollis-Jefferson was second in line with 14. So we had Brendan Ashley knocked down 1 for 2 from 3-point land. He had 9. Brendan Ashley had 9 rebounds. It's really nice to see Brendan Ashley be able to make some pretty decent contributions. He ended up with 11 points, 2 personal fouls. So if there was anybody that got close to some foul situations, that was Brendan Ashley. Also, Gabe York had a couple of fouls, but nowhere near the dangerousness of 3 personal fouls. Another thing that I was really happy to see was that Jordan Mays. He went in and he shot 3 out of 4 from free throw land, and he also made a nice a layup. I think there was one of the guys assisted off to him, and he ran to the bucket and did a nice layup. Let's see if there's anything that he had a couple assists, so that was cool. Another thing, Jordan Mays. It was just really nice to see Jordan Mays make a contribution, and Gabe York had 4 steals, so he kept stealing from it was a long-haired guy from NAU. I think it was I don't know. It might have been Springs. I'm not quite sure, from the NAU Lumberjacks. But anyway, the Arizona Wildcats beat the NAU Lumberjacks. The final score: Arizona Wildcats 77 to the NAU Lumberjacks 44.